If you're thinking about adding solar to your property, or you're going to make an offer on a property that has solar on it, but you're not sure if the value's increased or if it messes up or changes your purchase process in any way, well, that's what we're going to cover in today's video, and we're going to start right now. Hey guys, Hans Struzyna with the Gunderman Group at Keller Luxury International coming to you with another video. Today's topic is all about solar. This is something that's really near and dear to my heart because I actually used to sell solar when I was training for the Olympics. I sold it door to door as a way to support myself when I was training and basically working out all the time. So it's something that I know from sort of a sales perspective, from an industry perspective there, but also now, of course, on the real estate side. So we're going to talk about, obviously, the value increase. Does it change your purchase process? Any of that sort of stuff when it comes to buying and selling real estate here in the East Bay. And if you get value out of that, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because I'm going to continue to put out weekly content just like this every single week on Friday, so you're not going to want to miss it. So without any further ado, let's get into it. All right, so whether you're buying or you're selling, the first thing you always need to find out about solar systems are how it was paid for. Was it cash? Was it financed? Was it leased? Those are usually the three options. So if it was cash, it's pretty simple. It's like a furnace, it's like a kitchen appliance. It just belongs to the house. And oftentimes they have long warranty periods, both for the workmanship and the panels and the inverters and all that good stuff that can be transferred. So make sure that whether you're buying or selling, you get that paperwork in your hands before you close so you can transfer that warranty and take advantage of the remaining life on it. Now, if you have a finance situation, especially if you're a seller, you need to read the fine print because oftentimes you have to pay off the solar financing before you can transfer it to the new owner. That's because the solar financing works like a car loan or any other kind of personal loan. It lives with you on your credit, not necessarily just the property. So make sure you read the fine print and know that you're not going to have to write a $10,000 check to pay off your solar loan in the event that you sell your house. And if you do, factor that into your closing costs. And if you need help with your closing costs, I just did a video series for the buyers and the sellers on how to estimate your closing costs. I'll link to it right up here, so make sure you go check that out as well. But the other type of financing that is less common in our area, but still does come up, is called a PACE or a HERO lien. Effectively, it's a loan that lives on your property tax bill and is paid for over a longer period of time, oftentimes as long as 30 years. So the advertising is like no money down, low monthly payments, etc., but it lives with the house and on that property tax bill, as opposed to on your personal credit and it follows you around as opposed to the property. So there is a big chunk of the seller disclosures that has a bunch of questions about this. Do you have them or not? And one big thing you absolutely must understand is that if there's an extra $500 a month on there for whatever home improvements you've done that a buyer now has to inherit, well, that's going to affect their debt to income ratios and nothing else. And it may impact their ability to pay you a higher number because now they've got this new payment to take on above whatever their taxes and insurance and all that other stuff was going to come to. So make sure you're aware of that before you go and use that financing source. However, if you're going to be in the house and you know that for 20 years, that may be a really good option for you because you can spend 20 years enjoying it and figure it out then. Now, the last section is leased. This is the trickiest and this creates the biggest loopholes in contracts because technically to assume a lease, the buyer needs to apply for it and be approved. Generally speaking, if someone can afford the median home here in Alameda County, there's a good chance they'll hit the median or the minimum requirements to take on that lease. But if they don't, and you made that now subject to part of the sale, you've got a problem because there's now a loophole where somebody's going to have to take this over potentially by canceling the contract or paying out the remainder of the lease, and it can get really, really sticky. So whatever side you're on, make sure you talk to your agent about the ramifications and the opportunities that you can use to leverage in your favor, or at least close a loophole, or whatever the case is, because there are a few of them that are really important to know. All right, before we wrap this up, let's talk about this property value increase conversation. Every time you get a solar quote or go online and factor in the cost and the savings of a solar system, you're gonna see something about the increase in property value. The Federal Housing Administration estimates that every $1,000 in utility savings increases the property value by like 20 grand. I'm here to tell you I've sold in excess of $50 million of East Bay real estate, and not a single time in any of those transactions has anybody ever considered what the utility cost was or would have been if they had solar, and are willing to then pay more. It's an added benefit. It's a lesser expense to them, but it doesn't drive value when it comes to actually buying the home. There's not a single appraiser or agent who will suggest that because they have a 10 kilowatt solar system that charges the car and charges the rest of the house and nets out zero on the battery, that it therefore should sell for more than the house next door. People think about bedroom, bathroom count, location, other amenities in the house. You want to think of solar like any other really cool appliance, a Viking range, a built-in theater system, anything like that that brings value, brings utility to the living experience there, but won't necessarily drive the bottom line price like they suggest it will. So as we wrap up here, just remember, always look at how the solar system was financed, how it's paid for. Does it stay on the property tax bill, or is it a personal loan, or is it leased? And how are you going to have to apply for that? And how is that going to affect the flow of your transaction? And just remember as well, treat it when you're valuing the property like a really cool appliance. Viking ranges, built-in theater systems, any of that sort of thing. It doesn't necessarily raise the property value like crazy, but it definitely provides some cool utility. It can bring you an extra buyer or two potentially. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and log it off for today. This is Hans Struzyna with the Gunderman Group at Keller Williams Luxury International, signing off for now. See you guys on the next one.